Hi, I'm audible to you now. Okay, great. Thank you. This is a class main having the data member ID and the name. There is a parameterized constructor. In fact, there are two constructors. Okay, we call it as a constructor overloading. The first constructor is taking two parameters. The second constructor is in fact taking an object. It's taking an object. There is a display function which is displaying ID and the name. There is a main function in which I say main S1 is equal to new main 111 Karan. Main S2 is equal to new main S1. So this particular object is created by passing the parameter 111 and Karan. The second one is created by passing this particular object S1. This particular object S1. So the object which is created is passed as a parameter for another object. So what you learned in this particular 18th line, that if we have any other object created, we can pass it as a parameter. In that case, my parameter should have the name of the attribute as the class name. Name of the attribute as a class name. So when I print the value of S1 and S2, the question that is coming in our mind is whether it will have the same hash code or not. Whether it will have the same hash code or not. So when you run the particular code, since we are creating a new object with the attributes of S1, the memory allocation will be different. Hence, they will be stored at a different location. Even though the contents are same, when I say S1.display, it is going to give me 111 Karan. When I'm saying S2.display, it is going to again give me 111 Karan. But this particular addresses of S1 and S2, which we call it as a hash code, will be different. Why? Because we have created an object by using a new keyword. So of course, the contents will be at a different location. Only what is same is the contents of S1 and S2 will be the same. Both of them will be having 111 and Karan. But the addresses will be different because we have allocated the memory using a new keyword. So what you learned in this is how we can create an object from another object by using something called as a constructor. And this constructor should take a parameter of the class name, which is main. So what if I do something like this? I hope it is clear to you. So what if I do something like this? I remove this particular constructor. I remove this constructor. Okay. And I remove this and directly say main S2 is equal to S1. Now what is happening is S1 and S2 are both pointing to the same location. S1 and S2 are pointing to the same location. S1 object is created and main S2, I am not using a new keyword. So S2 will be pointing to S1. So when I run the code, what will happen? It will give me something like this, the same address. Okay, 39A55, 39A55. So kindly remember that if you are not using a new and if you are directly assigning it to S1, then both of them are pointing to the same location. Both of them are pointing to the same location. It is something like this. We allocated the space for S1, okay, using a new keyword. But when I say S2 is equal to S1, S2 is pointing to the same location. S1 is pointing over here, S2 is also pointing to the same location. Hence, both of them are going to give me the same address. Both of them are going to give me the same address. Let's understand something called as an anonymous object. Let's understand something called as an anonymous object. Let me change the name of the class, main. So what I want to do is something like this. There is a class main, okay, in which I want to write a factorial function. That factorial function should calculate the factorial, okay, and it should display the factorial. That's it. I'm just testing the feature called as a factorial. I just want to test my logic. So I start with the class main. I have a function fact. There is a logic in written over here. I'm displaying the factorial over here. And in the main, I'm saying new main dot fact5. Now, if you look at the left hand side, I have not written anything like this. Main m is equal to new main, something like that. I haven't written at all. I'm simply saying new main dot fact5. So how I'm supposed to read this? New main means create an anonymous. How you know it is anonymous? Because on the left hand side we haven't given any name. Something like main m is equal to new main. Okay, I haven't done that. So what I'm doing is I'm simply saying new main. So when I say new main, an anonymous object is created, and on that anonymous object I'm calling a function called as fact. I'm calling a function called as fact. The other way to do is main m is equal to new main, create an object, and then you say m dot fact5, something like this. Okay, so these two lines are equivalent to this particular line. Only thing you should remember is I could reference m down over here, whereas I cannot reference this anonymous object because the object is not created. It is something like this. I want to test the factorial function. Okay, so let's make it static. Or if you are creating an object, do not create an object. We could create an anonymous object just for testing. So both of them are going to give me the same result. So if the question says create an anonymous object, so do not write anything on the left hand side. Both of them are going to give me the same output, okay, but if they ask anonymous, then it should be simply new main and then make a call on it by directly saying dot fact5. Here in this case, since I have created an object, I can make a call on it by saying m dot fact5. Is it clear to you? Okay. Okay. For this, you can do the coding along with me. All of you create an new project in Eclipse. All of you create a new project in Eclipse. Give some name such as access specifier. Give some name such as access specifier. Okay. Once you are done it, right click on the source. Right click on the source. Go to the new and select a package name and select a package name. I selected a package as P1. I selected a package such as P1. I selected a package as P1. So start with Eclipse. Once you have started with Eclipse, create a package. Create a project. Within the project, create a package. The package name should be P1. Have you done it? Pay attention. So the first concept is there is a package called as, let's call the package as P1. Okay. In this particular package, there is a class called as A. This particular A has got two data members A and B. It has got a function called as MSG, message. There is another class called as test A, which has got a main function. Okay. The main function will be creating an object of the A class. The first point we are learning is, can this particular class access A, B and message? Okay. This everything is a public. Everything is a public. That means class A is public, A is public, B is public, message is public. We are working on a package called as P1, same package we are working. In this package, there are two classes A, another class is test A, which has got a main. I'm going to create an object of the A class and I want to access the value of A, B, and I want to access the function called as message. Is this clear to you what we are going to learn? So I go to the Eclipse. In the Eclipse, I create a package P1. In that P1, kindly create a class as A, int A, int B along with the public void message. Along with the public void message. Okay, there is a class A with public int A, public int B, void, public void message, SOP, hello. Just add public everywhere. Public class A, public int A, public int B, public void message, SOP, hello. We'll give you 1 minute. Okay, now create one more class. That class name should be test A. That class name should be test A. In this particular class, it's in the same package. If you look, it's in the same package. In this particular class, what I should be doing, I should be creating an object. I should be assigning or the value to A and B. I should be summing them up and then I should make a call to the message function. Create an object, assign a value, find the sum and make a call to the message function. Kindly note we are working in the same package. Kindly note we are working on the same package. Okay. Now that we have written the main function, our next step is to run this particular code and test it whether it's working or not. Okay. So let's run it. So what happens is we get the answer obj A and obj B as 300 and we get the message output as hello. So let's see what happened. I created an object of an A class. So it went over here and checked. Okay, we have a class called as A. It is public. Then I say obj.a is equal to 100, obj.b is equal to 200. It went into this class, checked whether it is public. Yes, it is public. So it can access it. Then it added them. Once it can access it, it can add them. So it gave me the answer as 300. Then when I said obj.message, what happened was it went over here and checked. Okay, do we have this message as a public? Yes, we have it. So what will happen? It will give me the answer as hello. It will give me the answer as hello. Have you understood this? Yes, no? So the first program was very easy. In a single package P1, what we did, we wrote two classes, A and test A. Test A was using A. A had everything as a public, so it could access it. Now what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to make the changes for the same class. Okay. So now my diagram changes. Now when I created an object of the main class, it went and checked. Everything was public. So can it access A? Yes. Can it access B? Yes. Can we assign the value to it using as 100 and 200? Yes. Can I find the sum? Yes. Because A and B were public, so I could access it, I could display it. Is message also public? Yes. So I could access the message also. So all three were working. All three were working. Second case, remember, package is P1, class name is A, data members are A and B, function is MSG, class name test A, it has got a main function in which I am creating an object, and I am trying to access A, B and message. I want to access A, I want to access B, I want to access message. We are still working on the same package. Now these are not public, these are called a default. So if I don't write before anything in the class name, anything before the data members, anything before the message, by default it is default. Default means what? It could be accessed by any class in the same package. For example, what I mean by this is, assume that there is another class called as B and B wants to access this A, B wants to access this B, it could very well access it. It could very well access it. Why? Because B, test A are in same package, So if you don't write anything before the data member, before the class name, before the message, it means it is default, and default could be accessed by all the classes in the same package. Are you with me? So what I did over here, I went to the class, I created another package, but you can work on the same package. I created a class A. I have not written public over here. Neither I have written public, neither I have written public, neither I have written public. Okay, I have not written anything over here. There is a test A which is not going to change. Here again I am creating an object. Here again I am saying obj.a 100, 200, SOP obj.a plus obj.b, and I am saying obj.message. So when I try to run this, let's see what happens. When I try to run this, again get the same output, 300 hello. No difference at all. No difference at all. Okay. So if I don't write anything before the class name, before the data member, before the function name, it means it is a default access specifier. It can be accessed by any class in the same package. What do you mean by that? For example, do this now, do this activity. Kindly create a class called as B. Okay. Now go to that particular class B. Fine. Now this particular class wants to access this particular data members A and B. Right. So what I will do is I will try to access the value. I will try to access this message. I will try to access this message over here. So how I can do it? Tell me. I want to access that particular function message in the class B. Can I do it? What I'm trying to tell you is something like this. Can I write something like this over here in the class B? If that is the case, see, this is a message. I want to make it call from the B. Can I do something like this? No, it's in the same package. Ishita, if you look over here, we are working in the same package P2. P2 has A, P2 has B, P2 has test A. You cannot make a call to it because it doesn't have a, you cannot make a call to it for a very simple reason. This doesn't have a main. Okay, main will allow us to make a call to it. So remember, you cannot directly make a call to this particular function message because it doesn't have any main over here. Okay. So can I do something like this? System dot out. Let's have some function. Okay. Pay attention. Let's have some function. Let's have the function as display. Okay. Void display. All of you please pay attention carefully. Can the display function access the data member A and B from this particular class? I want to access this A and B. Can I do it in this particular class? We are working in the same package. We are working in the same package. Can I do it? What I'm trying to tell you is, can I do something like this? A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2. Can I do it? No. Why? Because these are the instance data. This is the instance data. Okay. Let's do something like this. Can I create an object of a class A O, let's not call A, S equal to new A. Okay. And then can I do something like this S dot A? Yes. Can I do something like this S dot B? Yes. Yeah. Can I do something like this? Can I do it? Yes, I can do it. So what my diagram explained was This particular class doesn't have anything written before it. It is default. Default means this class could be accessed anywhere. It could be accessed in the main. It could be accessed outside. It could be accessed by any other class which doesn't have a main. What you have to do is you have to create an object of this particular class, and then you could access this A, B, and message. That's what I have done. Is it clear to you? Okay. So pay attention carefully. We have a class, nothing is written, no public is written, no public is written, no public, no, nothing is written. There is another class called as B, in which what I did, I wrote a function in which I created an object of an A class. I said s dot A is equal to 1, I said s dot B is equal to 2. If you want, you could very well say system dot out dot print line s dot A plus s dot B. And then I said s dot message, which should give me hello. There is another function called as test A, in which what I did, I created an object of an A class. I said obj.a is 100, obj.b is 200, system.out.println obj.a and obj.b, display the contents of the message, which is hello. That means my test A is going to create an object of an A class. It is going to assign the value. It is going to display the sum. It is going to make a call to this message function. The next question is, can I create an object of an B class? Let's check it. And then let's make a call to a function called as display. Understood? Everything is happening in the same package. There is a package called as P2, in which there is a, there is a B, there is a test A. Okay, there is a, there is a B, there is a test A. So what is test A going to do? Test A has got a main function. So part 1, I created an object of an A class and happily worked with A, B and the message. In the same main method, what I did, I created an object of a B class. Okay, I created an object of a B class and made a call to the display function. And what did a display function did? Display function created an object of an A. It assigned a value 1, it assigned the value 2 to B, and it displayed s dot A plus s dot B and s dot message. So when I run it, what should happen is, it is first giving me 300 and hello because of this particular lines. Then I created another object and then I said obj1.display. So what it displayed did, display created an object of an A class, assigned the value 1 and 2. S dot A was 1, S dot B was 2. I added them, it gave me the 3, and I made a call to message and it was a hello. So if you look at the diagram, the main function was in a position to access A, B as well as message. What I did, I simply created an object of an A class and then I could access A, B and message. In the class B, what I did, I wrote a display function because everything should be written in a function. And in the display function, what I did, created an object of A. Now, can it access A? Can it access B? Can it access message? Yes. Why? Because we are in the same package. Are you with me? Is this concept clear to you? We'll give you 1 minute to raise any question if you have. In case of public, which is my next example, what will happen is other packages will be in a position to access it. If it is not a public, only then in the same package it can access it. What do you mean by this? I'll explain it. Have you understood the concept of a default? Default means only and only in the same package. Clear? Now, let's complicate the life, because normally we won't be working in the same package. We'll always be working in a different package. So pay attention. There is a package P1. There is a class A, data member X, data member Y, function display. Everything is public. Everything is public. There is another class B, data member X, data member Y, data member display. This is default. Clear? This is default. There is another package P2. There is another package P2 in which I am creating an object of A. How we can create it? Let's see it. Now this particular obj1 is of the class A of which package? P1. So can I access X? Yes. Why? Because it is public. Can I access Y? Yes. Can I access display? Yes. I am creating another object called as obj2 by saying new B. Clear? But since this is default, it won't allow me to create it. Why? Because it says that this particular class and the data member can be accessed by any other function in the same package. So this particular line is going to collapse for a very simple reason. It says that I cannot access this because you simply have said class B, and when I say class B, it is a default access specifier. That means it can be accessed only in P1. It cannot be accessed in P2. So if you want the P2 to access it, you should make everything as a public. Is it clear to you? Chalo? Have you understood this? So let's do one thing now. Let's create a package. Okay, let's create the package as P5. In my case, it is P5. In this particular P5, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create two classes. My two class name will be A and B. In the class A, what I will have? Everything is public, so data members were X, data member was Y. Okay, and I guess the function name was display, and it is displaying a message. But if you want to put display X plus Y. In the class B, I'll remove public. I'll remove public everywhere. Okay, and I'm going to have X plus Y. Let's have one more function. Let's call it as test A B. I want to test both the classes. Does it have a main? Yes, it has a main. So what I should do? I should first create a object of the A class. A obj equal to new A. So when I do something like this, okay, what will happen? It is bound to work. But this particular test AB is in the same package. So what I wanted was, I wanted this test AB in a different package. So I should be deleting this. Okay. And I should be creating a separate package, and I have to right click over here in the source, say new package P6. And in this P6, what I should have? I should have my main. So let me create a class for you. Test AB. Let's have a main. Okay. Now kindly pay attention over here. I want to create an object of a class. Okay. These are the two different packages. So I will say a obj equal to new a. So when I do this, what will happen? It will complain saying that a cannot be resolved because it is going to search only in this particular package. It is only going to search in this particular package. We should give the complete path. How we can give the complete path? We should give the package name. What is the package name? P5. So P5 dot A obj equal to new P5 dot A. How to read this? Kindly create an object of an A class available in which package? P5. After you have done it, what I am supposed to do? I am supposed to access X and Y. Okay? X is equal to 100. It shouldn't complain because it's a public. Obj dot y equal to 200, and then let's, if you want, you can display the sum over here, or I can make a call to that particular function. What is the function name? Obj dot display. Okay, so let's try to run this. So when you run this, object is created, obj.x is 200, obj.y is 200. I went into this particular class and executed the display function which displayed the sum. Kindly pay attention, test AB is not in the same package, it's in a different package. Are you with me? I'll wait for a moment, 1 minute, so that you could raise any question if you want. See, all these packages are, see, this is one package. Sorry, this is one project. The name of my project is access specifier example. These are the different packages. Okay, understood? In Java, we work on the packages. This will not work if you are working with Notepad. Kindly pay attention. Online compiler and Notepad, this won't work. It will work only and only with the IDEs such as NetBeans, Eclipse, IdleJ. So those who are working in the online compiler or notepad, kindly just have a look at this particular code. Do not try to run it, it won't work. Yes, you can make a call to any package, any class, provided it is a public. Now, this becomes very tedious. This becomes very tedious. Okay, have a look at this class A, have a look at the class B. I will wait, I'll copy it for you. I will wait till 11:53. At 11:53, I want to explain one more concept. Now pay attention. To test this, what I wrote, I said p5.a. p5.a. That means it is saying go to that package, from that package, pick up the A and run it. But I can do something like this. I could say import p5. And what do you want to import? I want to import a class A. I want to import a class A. If you have done this, and directly you can write something like this. Let's try to run this. Is it working? So what you learned in this example, you learned that how we could use a import statement. How we could use a import statement. Is it clear? Okay, now let's try to call the B. And if you note the class B, we haven't written public. We haven't written the public. Okay. So I'm going to say P5, that's the package name, dot B. And the moment I write this, my program collapses. My program collapses. Why? Because it clearly tells me that p5.b is not visible. p5.b is not visible. Why it is not visible? Because the class B is default, is having the default access specifier. So it is bound to collapse. It cannot be accessed outside the package. If you remember, test AB is in which package? P6. In the P5, I have got two classes A and B. A is public, so no problems, but B is default. So it is giving me the error over here. Okay. So what we'll do? We'll come over here and try to make this public. And let's check whether it works or not. I have only made the classes public. I haven't made anything as a public. Remember, I have made only class as public. Now come over here and say p5.b is equal to new p5. Okay, still it is red. Let's see why. When you say p5.b is equal to new p5.b, It is trying to access this particular variable x and y, which are not public. Hence, it doesn't allow me to work with this particular x and y because they are default. X is default, Y is default, display is default, which cannot be accessed outside the package. Hence, it is complaining. I hope I hope this is clear to you. Wait. Yeah, I got it. Wait. Obj2 is equal to so and so. And now see, when I do something like this, p5 dot b obj2 is equal to new p5 dot b. Okay. It is saying change the visibility to public. Let's make this as public. And when you make it as a public, okay, this particular error will go. But now when I come over here and try to do something like this, obj2 dot x equal to 100 will mark me as red. Why it mark me as red? For a very simple reason. obj2 cannot access the x because it has got a default. If you look over here in the class B, x is having the default access specifier. Hence you cannot access it. Is it clear? So in case you are working with the project and you want a client to access the function, make all the functions as public. Do not make a data members as public. So the thumb rule is, in this particular class, I shouldn't be making this as a public. I should make it as a private. Okay. So that this particular two statement shouldn't work. You should be only in a position to work with the functions which will be the public one. Which should be the public one. Is it clear? So I told you to download, okay, I told you to download a particular book, and that book was Core Java Volume 1. Okay, it was Core Java Volume 1, this one. Core Java Volume 1 book has to be downloaded. 1 minute. So skip the chapter 1, come to chapter 2. Not even chapter 2, come to chapter 3. Okay. 3.1. 3.1 to 3.5. Not read 3.6. 3.8. 3.10. Four point one to 4.7. 5.1, okay. So kindly download that particular book, and the topics which I have marked, only and only read these particular topics which I told you to read. Clear? So tomorrow we are going to start with inheritance. You just go and search for this PDF. You will get it. Okay, download it and start reading. Find PDF. So in this case, p5.b obj2 is equal to new p5.b. I didn't type the obj2 correctly. Once I type the obj2 correctly, it will mark the x as visibility error, because x is not visible to you because it is a default access specifier. It is having the default access specifier. So it is giving you the suggestion. See how intelligent it is. It is telling me whether to make access public, or you can write a setter. Sorry, you can write the getter for it. You can write a getter using which we could retrieve it. And you already know how to do it. What we have to do, you have to say in getter, and then I could access the value of this x. Is it clear? So tomorrow you have your web exam, I guess, right? So tomorrow you have the web exam, right? So we'll be having the classes from 11 to 11:30 only for half an hour, and we'll be starting with inheritance. Tomorrow's class will be for 11 to 11:30. I guess 11:45 you have the exams. Okay. So that will be the end of the session. Object 1, OOPS 1 and OOPS 2 document will be shared today. So have a look at it once your exam is over.